I'd like to
Hello, my
tell.
hello. My name is Gail Seiler, and I'm honored to be here on behalf of Betrayal Project USA. We are a victim-led organization dedicated to exposing institutional betrayal, honoring those we've lost, and pursuing justice for crimes committed under the guise of public health, namely under COVID-19. You can learn more about our work, view victim stories, and get involved in some of our calls to action and other committees by visiting our website at betrayalprojectusa.org. Betrayalprojectusa.org. You can also follow us on Rumble, BitChute, Twitter, and by searching Betrayal Project USA on those platforms, or you can link to them from our website. We hold a weekly Twitter Spaces on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Central to talk about these important issues. Today, I have the privilege of talking with Jack, and he is going to tell us about his what happened to him and his wife Bernie um, in a Pennsylvania hospital, and how it ended in his survival and Bernie's death. So, thank you, Jack, for being willing to tell your story. Um, tell us tell us about your beautiful wife.
Well, my wife Bernie was just such a gift to me. She was, uh, to me, she was unlike any other um, a woman in my life, dating wise. But um, I married her. She wanted to marry me, and we loved each other so deeply. And she had a heart of gold. Everybody loved her. Friends, people in our church, they just would come to her for advice, to talk to her about any difficulties they're facing in their life. But they always knew that Bernie could help them out. And they just uh, they just never came across anything like Bernie as well. But she was so loving, so caring, and she would do for people whatever they would ask. Um, we love to together. We love to go places, travel. We love to go camping, and we love to sit at home and relax out on our porch. She loved to knit. She was just a knitting bug. I mean, she knitted prayer shawls, she knitted blankets, she knitted booties and hats for the babies clinic in Lancaster, the babies hospital, and they appreciated the work that she did so much for them, and they sorely miss her. But my heart was so shattered in pieces when I lost Bernie. I just couldn't believe that this was happening, that she was no longer part of my life. I didn't feel like myself anymore. I felt empty inside, lonely, um, constantly crying out loud and crying out to God for help. And the sad part about it is that friends that we had after Bernie was gone, they all walked away from me. They
Mm,
didn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. And that was a double loss that was
mm,
so painful, that added to more pain. Even her side of the family wouldn't even connect with me anymore. So I have no family, and except my kids, and they live elsewhere other than where I'm at. But it's just a sad state in my life that I never thought I would go through anything like this. And I wonder why were others spared and pulled through, the COVID issue, but why couldn't my wife survive? I just can't still understand that.
And she was healthy and active, and
Yeah.
y'all had just celebrated your 25th anniversary
Yes, that's
in
correct.
October of 2021. And
Yes.
then tell us about, so she went into you, well, you both got sick, right? At the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
So did you both go to the hospital like the same, what led you to the hospital?
Um, I wasn't I wasn't feeling very well, and my best friend told me that I need to get to the hospital. So I did, but then Bernie was feeling really bad, and she talked to my best friend too, and he tried to get Bernie to get to the hospital by calling an ambulance, or he was going to call. So she didn't want to go, but he finally convinced her to go. So she did go to the hospital. Then we were both in the hospital at the same time, except I went home earlier than Bernie did. I was getting better, but Bernie was beginning to get worse.
So Bernie
And
went in the hospital on November 22nd of 2021.
yes,
This was the pandemic of the unvaccinated, the winter of death that Biden called for. Uh,
yes,
and you went into the hospital a couple days before that in Pennsylvania.
yes.
Same hospital,
Same
Lancaster.
hospital. Yeah.
So, when you got to the hospital, um, what did what what was their treatment plan for you? So you went to the hospital. Was your oxygen low, or you weren't, or you were just dehydrated? What what what
My
symptoms did you have?
my oxygen was low. They put me on oxygen. They gave me an IV. I can't remember what the solution was. And then they would give me some other injections, but I don't know what they were. They didn't ventilate me, but they made sure I stayed on oxygen. And when they would come in to treat me, they were all dressed up in these medical suits and helmets and stuff like that. And so over time, then I got gradually better. They said that I was able to go home, but Bernie was getting slightly better, and I expected her to follow me home not too long afterwards. But then they called that night of December 3rd, very early in the morning, around, I guess, around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And they said she was getting worse, and they wanted to try a different last resort treatment. What that was, they didn't tell me, but they said Bernie was okay with it. So I said, then go ahead and give it to her if she's all right with it. And so they did, but then they called me back. She had her heart stopped, and then they got her heart going again, but it was too rapid. And then it started to disappear again, her pulse, and they couldn't get it back.
Mm.
And she also had AFib. And I'm wondering if that's something that they knew but weren't concerned about, that maybe the AFib had something to do with what they were doing. I don't know. And I don't know whether they ventilated her or not, because they said they don't ventilate at the hospital, but that may have been the case, and maybe they did, but I have to look at her medical records to check on that. So
Yeah.
then, so then when I got the news, I became instantly numb, and because I was so messed up with drugs and everything else, what they gave me in the hospital, I still felt the effects when I got home. And it was several days later until the realization came that it hit me real hard that she was gone, and I had severe breakdowns.
Yeah. Did
So
you had mentioned when your friend was talking her into going to the hospital that she didn't want to go? Do you know? A lot of people say in a lot of stories we hear they didn't want to go to the hospital. Was it because people did she suspect something was happening that was not quite right at the hospitals, or
I I
was it
think I think she was afraid that they were going to give her the COVID shot.
okay?
That's my guess.
Because
I,
neither one of you took the shot, like many of us didn't.
right?
Um,
No.
and do you think did they treat you different because you didn't take the shot?
Um, no, not that I'm aware of. Um, they just basically treated me, but with what I don't know. But one comment that Bernie made on the phone to me when I was in my room when she called me, she said, "Hun," she said, "I think they're going to let me die because they want to give me this or that, whatever it is they want to give her." And I said, "No, they can't do that without our permission." She said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Don't be concerned because they can't do it unless we let them." So we never let them unless they did it anyway.
Unless they did it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. And I'm hoping her medical records will show that.
Yeah.
So, but I do know that she's well now. She's better. She's living and she's in heaven.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that because she loved the Lord. And I can't wait to see her again.
Did you ever ask for either for you or Bernie any of the the treatments where, like, doctors, the frontline doctors, for example, there were many doctors who treated thousands and thousands of patients without losing even one patient with ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, budesonide, um, other types of nebulizing solutions, vitamins, which
Yeah.
were always important in our day. Remember, kids would get measles and they'd give them
Yeah.
castor oil because it was high in vitamin A, and
Yeah.
that was right. Did you ask for any of that, or were you denied any of that?
No, not that I can remember asking for any of it.
Yeah. Um, and do you do you do you know if they gave her heart medications or if they stopped them while they were treating the COVID?
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know if they continue to give it to her or not.
Okay.
But I thought that was a key that maybe they didn't take a look at as to why her heart would not come back
Yeah. Were
because
you,
of the AFib.
at any point were you able to go in and see her while you were in the
Yeah.
hospital? Okay.
Yeah, so I got to see her numerous times. They took me upstairs to see her, and we got to talk. And but she had a plate of food there. She wasn't hungry, but we got to talk, and she had oxygen mask, and she was laying there, and we held hands, and she she looked she looked very frightened. I guess as not knowing what would happen. So, but she was brave through it all, and I have no idea what the last resort was, the last treatment that they gave her. I'll have to find out
Yeah, and if
because I didn't trust them.
what made you not trust them?
With all that I've been hearing across the country, everything that's been going
Yeah.
on. And I figured that they would probably be the same way, which was true.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give the medication.
Yeah. The ivermectin, the hydroxychloroquine.
Right.
Yeah. Budesonide. But you had done so you had told me, so tell me about that. You had done some of the, was it Dr. Mercola's,
Yeah.
the food
Nebulizing.
grade, yeah, the food
Yeah.
grade the food grade peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, and
Yeah.
which loosens up the, whatever you have going on in there. That's the whole. I've used
Yeah.
that before too when I didn't have budesonide. Um,
I think
and
it
so,
was also food grade iodine.
yes, food grade iodine,
Yeah.
food grade hydrogen peroxide. You can use
Uh-huh.
actually saline.
Oh,
Mix,
okay.
yeah, saline, even anything to loosen up the phlegm. Um, so, and then vitamins, right? Vitamin C and vitamin D.
Yeah. Vitamin D3, vitamin C, magnesium.
Yeah, high dose.
Yeah.
And so, do you think did that help you? Did that help you? Do you think get better? Because you were on oxygen even when you went home, right?
Yeah.
How much
Yeah.
oxygen were you on? Do you remember?
Well, I had to pull one of those tanks along
Yeah,
wherever I went with a long hose. I don't know
yeah,
how much was in theirs, but I was on it for weeks. And but I think by nebulizing more, I think that's what helped me.
yeah. Yeah, I would have to concur because that's what got me off of oxygen too, was the without the budesonide,
Okay.
peroxide and stuff. I don't even know if I would have made it, but so yeah, I would have to concur. That it made a big difference.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So so at so you didn't trust them when you were in the hospital, but was there a point where you were like, after Bernie died, was there a point where you were like, I think they killed my wife?
Yeah. I think it was. I would say several weeks after, until I go get my mind back to normal, my thoughts and everything, how I was feeling. Um, then I think it came to me was that, yeah, they took her life.
Yeah. And did you get the medical records like right away, or was it at that point where you were like, I need to see what is going on?
It was at that point, when I was feeling better, I went in to get her records.
Yeah, yeah. By any chance did you get your own records?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But I think mine I got on CD, and I'll have to look for it.
Okay. All right. Because we can, we've got 3 nurses that are on the board, on the
Okay.
Betrayal Project USA board. So if you would like them to just take a peek at any of those, and because I know they're hard to look at, it's,
Yeah.
especially Bernie's be hard to look at. But if you just want them to be able to tell you, do you have everything, and give you kind of just an idea, answer questions that, you may have these outstanding questions. Sometimes it's really hard to heal from trauma when you have outstanding questions.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So any way we can help you with that, please, we'd be happy to, Jack.
Yeah, it came to the point where I didn't care about anything anymore. My life was so radically changed for the worse. And I still to this day don't get involved with things that I enjoyed before. And, hobbies or things like that. All kinds of different things. I just don't care about them even today.
Yeah. I
She was so strong in my life to help me do things and figure things out. I always said that um, I told people that women are one of the greatest gifts God put on this earth. And I truly mean that because of what they can do compared and help being so helpful uh, to a husband
Yeah.
or others. And it really, they just have a thing about them. They're just wired so differently to be so loving and helpful.
What are some of the other impacts that you think this has done in terms of your life? I know you know, sometimes the emotional, trauma, obviously, right?
Yeah. Um, I kind of, when it comes time, sometimes I get, depending on what environment I'm in, I can get irritable and snap at people, things like that, like I never did before. Um, and I try to keep myself calm. Um, I talk to Bernie each night, um, tell her how I feel, how much I love her and care for her, and what went on during the day, things like that. And but other than that, it's just that it's so hard to live my life without her. Um, it's terrible. It really is. I feel so empty inside. There's like nothing there. And even where I'm at, um, what's happened was that these major churches down here, they wouldn't even step up to the plate to help.
Yeah.
They lied to me. They said they would help me. They didn't.
Do you think they do you think they do you think they believe that people were killed in hospitals? Or what's the like your circle of people that you knew, were they like, oh no, that couldn't have happened, or do they believe that it happened?
No, a lot of people believe that that happened, that I talked to.
Mhm.
And I was in the hospital here for sepsis for about a week and maybe a half. And I got to talk to nurses, and they quietly told me, yes, they knew what happened. And the same thing happened there at that hospital. So there, people were completely aware of what happened.
In the hospitals, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that people were left to on their own to die. And
So
my one friend that lives up in Pennsylvania, he told me that what they did to him when his wife was in, uh, they ridiculed him, made fun of him. They wouldn't do what he asked, like to give his wife like water or something like that, things, and they withheld a lot of things from her. And he said, "Well, if you don't do this, then I'm going to sue." And they laughed at him. They
yeah,
just laughed at him, said, "Go right ahead."
it's the yeah, because they know that they have the immunity. They have immunity with the PrEP Act. I call it the PERP Act because they're allowed to
Yeah,
perpetrate crimes, and
yeah,
yeah, they have this level of immunity. They feel so untouchable that they could be so arrogant. It's almost like some of those doctors think MD stands for minor deity, huh? So
yeah,
they're
yeah.
so. I hope your friend will tell his story, because that is one of the deadly hospital deadly playbook tactics that we have on the betrayalprojectusa.org site. Is, I mean, that's like 1,300 stories,
Wow.
maybe 500 medical records or so, that hundreds of medical records we've looked at, and they're all the same tactics that were used, and the ridiculing and gaslighting is one of them.
Yeah.
Isolation. I mean, if you isolate somebody, you know how important hope is, right? Like,
Yeah.
hope, especially for a believer, hope is everything. And spouses being able to connect can
Yeah.
drive the other, right? That human touch, that engagement. And so that has been known to heal people from, I mean, people have pulled through cancer just by having that human touch. So
Yeah.
yeah. So what are
Another thing that happened was the fact that when she was gone, when they called me, they wouldn't let me come back in to see her.
so they wouldn't let you come and even view her?
Right.
So, did they give you a reason?
Because of the COVID issue.
But you had been allowed to see her when you were
Yeah,
there.
when we were able to see each other together in the hospital, but coming back in, I guess since they thought I was getting better, I would get it again, and I wouldn't be allowed to see her.
You'd have the antibodies. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they forgot that you'd have the antibodies anyways, or
Right.
they interesting. And so that's heartbreaking. Were you
Oh
able
yeah.
were you able to see her when the funeral home picked her up, or no? They just wouldn't even let you say your
No,
final goodbyes.
I couldn't see her until the day of her service. And when I
Oh my,
walked into the church, there's tables set up for me to display her knitting projects and pictures and things like that. And I saw that first picture you showed of her smiling. They had on an easel, and it was so beautiful. It was in a white frame and so beautiful. I broke down and cried. It was just so. It was just so hard on me, but yet it was so beautiful. And yeah, that was difficult for me.
yeah, it's that picture.
Yeah, that's the one there. Yeah, the funeral home had it in a white frame.
I know.
I miss her so much.
Yeah,
I
I
still hurt so bad.
I know you. What are a couple of your favorite memories of Bernie?
Uh, Memories of going camping, different places in different states. Um, Memories of going to the shore. Memories of going out to dinner, celebrating her birthday or our anniversary. Uh, let's see. Holding hands while we're walking down the sidewalk and hugging each other, giving each other a kiss, and just going to numerous places that we enjoyed so much. Um, and even shopping, I would go shopping with her. She loved to go shopping, and I would go shopping with her just to be with her. I
Yeah,
always wanted to be with her.
yeah,
She was such a joy in my life. She just made my life so, I guess you might say, in a state of perfection.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. To me, there was no one like her, and there'll never be another one like her.
And I'm gonna send you these little files here, but you mentioned the hugging, and I'm gonna send you these forever hugs that you can have,
Oh, thank you.
and this forever hug, which
Yeah.
I really love. Jack, it's I'm gonna send those to you, and
Okay. Thank
I'll
you.
I'll include one of them in the story too, so that you have it.
Okay. And send a link of the video.
Yeah, I sure will. I sure will.
Okay.
Um, so, is there anything else that you want people to know, either about your experience, or the aftermath, or about Bernie?
I think that about Bernie, she was the joy of my life. She brought me so much happiness, and we worked at the same place before, and that's where we met. And when I would see her walking towards me in the plant where we worked, she just would automatically put a smile on my face. And when we were married, my best friend saw Bernie for the first time, and he took me aside and he said, "You know what, Jack?" He said, "You done real good, buddy. You
Yeah.
done real good because of how beautiful she is."
Oh,
And yeah, she was my pride and joy.
and really, the joy of the Lord just glows in her face.
Yeah, absolutely.
The love of
And
Christ.
one thing, she had a trademark laugh. If you didn't see her in the area where you were, you could hear her coming towards you, talking with somebody and laughing. You could tell by her laugh that it was her coming towards you. She had a trademark laugh. She really
Oh,
did.
that
Yeah, I would also give her uh, foot rubs. She loved foot rubs, massage her feet and her legs. She loved it so much because she needed it to relax. And she would just kind of like melt away, because of the massaging. And I would always give her hugs and kisses. And oh, it's like I just would drink her into me. That's how much she meant.
yeah, that's beautiful, Jack. That's
Oh,
really,
thank you.
and as always, you'll be in our prayers, because I know this is hard, and you're coming up to soon the holidays and all of you know the anniversary dates. There's so many of them,
Oh,
and
yeah, that hurt.
yeah, so
Our
I
anniversary date's coming up. And then, of
yeah,
course, Christmas I spend alone. All those days I spend alone. And I think back of the times we had together, those days, especially anniversary and birthdays. So,
yeah,
but it hurts not doing that with her anymore. I was going through some greeting cards at the store today, and I was looking for a greeting card to send to Charlie Kirk's wife. They put her address out if people
yeah.
want to send her cards. And I was reading this one card, and I was thinking of Bernie, and it made me break down. It
Oh,
hurt. It hurt so bad. It really did because of thinking about her, through reading those cards. And it just hurt so bad. So I picked one out, and then I had to get out of there.
I think
So
I I think it would be nice if people wrote um in their cards, just a little handwritten or typed, um under something to say, we understand what it's like to have a spouse murdered,
yeah,
and the pain and the anguish of not having quite the justice, because I see her her speech was very strong.
yeah,
And when she said her widow's cry will be heard around the world, like that, as a battle cry, that
yeah,
that was pretty strong.
yeah,
So I was like, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, and what these people unleashed, she said, you
Yeah.
have no idea what you unleashed.
And I hope we'll be like that. You have
Yeah,
no idea what you unleashed by murder, because many are, they wanted to crush us, and
yeah,
we're not going to let them.
that's right. We got to
Yeah.
stand and fight.
Yep. Fight, 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 right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, well, I appreciate you sharing with us all the wonderful things about Bernie and the horrible things that happened and all of that. And
Thank you.
I hope other people who hear this, especially men, because men don't always tell the story, right? They're
Yeah,
like, I'm just going to keep it inside or whatever, but they're ruminating about it anyways, so they may as well
yeah,
tell it, right?
that's right.
Yeah. So I appreciate it, and I hope people who listen to this will go to betrayalprojectusa.org, tell your story, get involved. We need to fight back. If enough people come forward, they'll be shaking in their boots. If even a quarter of the 1.6 million people who were killed come forward,
Yeah,
man, they'd be shaking in their boots. They're not
yes,
afraid of 10, they're not afraid of 20, they're not afraid of even 100, but
yes.
tens of thousands that would concern them. And so, tell your stories, be brave, have courage, and get involved. We also have support groups, several support groups, and on our website you can, under get involved, there is an option to sign up for the various support groups so that we can add you to the list. We have
Yeah,
we have a Facebook group that we post all that in, so everybody
okay.
who needs it can get the help. And so, thank you so much, Jack.
Yeah, and if you could send me those links to the support groups.
Yep, sure will.